What is up, y'all? Welcome to another Saturday Night Live with Jeffroz FishKeeping. And what a crazy last hour or so that I've had. Tonight is prom, and my 17-year-old son has been going through all the festivities and just got back to the house just a little bit ago from going to the pre-prom ceremony, prom promenade or whatever you call it. And yeah, it's been crazy. So yeah, picture taker and all that kind of stuff. So how is everybody doing? Can't believe it's Saturday night already. The weekend is just blowing by. I've had some real busy craziness at work, and now I'm enjoying the weekend, but it's already halfway over. So what is everybody up to? Let's go to the chat and see who all is here. We have got Victor from B-Stag in the house. What is up, Victor? We got Pete Berlinski, Big D Smoke, Big E's, and Daryl Deemer. What is up, guys? Got Pam from 54 Punchy. Let's see here. Then we got, they all hung out for a long time. Then we got John Vink. Is the live stream starting soon? Yep. Tampa Tom is here. What is up, Tampa Tom? Then let's see here. Wow. Sunshine Aquatics is in the house. Dan Slee is here. What's up, guys? Cichlid23 is here. Kent's Fish, formerly Corey Boy Aquatics, is here. What's up, Corey Boy? Reels Tanks is here. What is up? Justin Thibodeau is here. And that means that Emma's probably here too. What is up, Emma and Justin? We got Shelby Ray Lane in the house. What's up, Shelby Ray? Mr. Science Geek is here. Yeah, prom. You know, whenever I've got 4 kids, and he could have actually went his freshman year too. He broke up with his girlfriend right before freshman prom, so he could have went his freshman year too. But like my almost 25-year-old daughter and my 21-year-old daughter, they both went to the prom multiple years, and now this is his second year. He's a junior, so he'll go next year, and then my 7th grader, you know, he'll go in a couple years probably or so. And like craziness, lots of prom. Let's see here. Then we got Mary from RNH2O. What is up, Mary? Chad Krotz is in the house. What's up, Chad? Dank Tanks is here. What is up, Dank? Yo, yo, yo. Amanda Dale is here. That girl is my sister. Happy Saturday night, brother. Happy Saturday night too to you, sis. I love you very much. And we get to see you in just, gosh, what's today? The 13th? A little over a month. My niece, which is my sister's oldest daughter, is getting ready to graduate next month, and I get to go down and see him and go to some graduation. Chef Hannibal is in the house. What is up, Chef Hannibal? Lotus Green is here. Let's see. Keith Bordley's here. What's up, Keith? Then we got Debbie Sievers is here. Stan B 1974. What's up, guys? Brian Laws is here. Mr. Science Geek says, I went to prom because the girl said I would regret it and need therapy later on if I didn't go. I now regret going, and that is 18 years ago. I am glad that I went. I had a lot of fun. My class and we really got out there and danced. There was no awkwardness. It didn't take nothing to get me out on the dance floor. And we had a really, really good time. And didn't get to go my senior year. My girlfriend, which later ended up being my wife, was pregnant at the time. And she didn't want to go because her baby bump and all that kind of stuff. And she said that I could go. But you know, when a girl says you can go, you know what that means. So I didn't go to my senior prom because my girlfriend was pregnant and she didn't want to go. She refused to go. And I didn't want to go without her because I figured I'd get in trouble, you know. So, and I probably would have gotten in trouble too. But I'm glad that I went. Let's see. Who else is here? Big D Smoke says, my son went to junior prom his sophomore year and senior year, lady. And now that he's a senior, I don't think he's going. LOL. Yeah, I didn't get to go my senior year either. I didn't even play sports my senior year because of women. You know what I mean? I was too busy chasing girls and stuff. And I look back on that and I regret that. I was just talking to a kid at the school a little bit ago that's in my son's grade, and he used to always play on our traveling basketball team here in town. And he was always small. And last year and the year before, he didn't play. So he didn't play his freshman year or his sophomore year. No, his sophomore year or his junior year. And he's a spot up 3-point shooter. And we just won the championship this year. And I told him earlier, you got to go out and play basketball this next year. We really need you. And you'll regret it someday if you don't. And I regret, I lettered all the other years in football and didn't play my senior year. And I really do regret it, All righty. Charlie is in the house. What's up, Charlie? Got Carbon Really here. Let's see here. Who else? Debbie Sievers says new subscriber just set up a 60-gallon tank. That is awesome. I've the last few weeks, it seems like it was about a month ago on one of these live streams, we were hitting a dead spot or something, and someone asked me a question. They said, have you bought any new fish lately? And I started thinking, I was like, I haven't bought any new fish lately. And I've went on a fish buying spree, and I've got all kinds of unboxing videos coming out. And it's been really exciting. It's been a lot of fun. I've gotten tons of new arrivals here, and it's always fun to set up new tanks. I haven't had a 60-gallon in a long time too. I'd like to get one of those 60-gallon cubes is what I'd like to do. And I'd like to put my puffer in that. That's what I'd like to do. I've never had a cube tank either. And those 60-gallon cubes, the rimless ones, are pretty nice. Let's see here. Bailey Barnhart is in the house. What is up, Bailey? He says, grow that beard, man. Yeah, I know. I got that new straightener in this week, too, and I was not impressed. It is a cheap piece of junk. The way that I do it with my hair blow dryer, I got a Conair blow dryer with a comb on it, and it straightens my beard better than this straightener does. This straightener won't even get into my hair. The little comb pieces aren't big enough to really even dig into this thing. So it's junk. It doesn't work at all. If it had longer comb pieces, it might work. I don't know. I might have to modify it or something. So I've been contemplating on trimming it back a little bit for the summer, but I don't know. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. I'm really liking it like this, actually. Chad Kraut says, I'm watching way too much YouTube. I'll get all the channels straight eventually. I'm subscribed to a lot of YouTube channels that aren't even fish keeping as well. I'm subscribed to quite a few of those bushcraft type of people, like Joe Robinette and My Self-Reliance, and then the Doug Outdoors guy. Let's see. Oh, TA Outdoors. That stands for Totally Awesome Outdoors. And I get into that stuff too, It's kind of funny. I don't ever do any camping. But this My Self-Reliance guy, he built a cabin out in the woods, and that is my all-time favorite thing. If I ever get into some money, I'm going to build me a log cabin. I love log cabins. Yeah, I even love cooking over the campfire. I've got all kinds of cast iron skillets and different things like that. I mean, yeah, I'm into that stuff. But yeah, I watch way too many YouTube videos as well. Sunshine Aquatic says, don't trim the beard. I usually do in the summertime, but it goes way back. I don't ever get it really, really short. But Cichlid 23 says, yep, he is in Canada, right? Just about all those guys are. TA Outdoors is in the UK. I like him a lot. He's got another buddy that does a lot of cooking and stuff too, and I like that. And then his brother his dad is got a fishing channel, but the other three guys, like the Doug Outdoors, Joe Robinette, and My Self-Reliance, those guys are all Canadians. John Bink says, new to the channel, what is up? Not too much. We just, you know, I used to go live like 3 nights a week, and like the Monday night one would be a water change live stream, which, believe it or not, people actually liked that and came to it. That was a real popular one. I'll probably bring it back one of these days. And then on Thursday nights, I used to do a Q&A live stream where we just tried to stick to, guys got any questions, hobby-related questions, you know, and that one did really good. And then Saturday night has always been just an open free-for-all. We talk about beards. We talk about food. We talk about fish keeping. We would talk about fish keeping the whole time if everybody wanted to, but everybody just comes and hangs out. And yeah, and then I also do uploads every Monday morning and every Thursday morning at 7 a.m. Central. I have an upload on the YouTube channel, and I've done that schedule and not missed one for, gosh, about 1.5 years now. And it's really easy for me to keep up with it. I've got 40 aquariums here. 41 now. I set up a new one this week. It's a hospital tank, like a 20 gallon long. I set up a little quarantine system for a new Pleco that I got. And yeah, so I got 41 aquariums. I've got a couple of summer tubs. I'm thinking about maybe next weekend, if I get enough time during the week. I don't like ordering lumber on the weekends because my lumber store here in town closes at noon. And that means that I've got to get a lot done in a short amount of time, and I want to use my Saturday to do it. So I'm thinking about, if I have enough time on one of my days this week, going and buying some lumber, and I think I'm going to build me a deck this weekend. And then that will give me more room to add more summer tubs, and some of them a little more out and have a little bit more sunlight throughout the day. I've got 2 big shade trees in the backyard that will, you know, keep plenty of shade. You know, last year, both of my summer tubs are on my back porch now, and it's 12 foot by like 7 foot, somewhere around in there, and it's covered. And they were in the shade 95% of the time throughout the day, and the water temperatures didn't ever get really, really bad, you know. And I'm thinking about building that deck next weekend and buying a few more summer tubs and really going all out with it. So John Bedker says, Daryl, you coming to the swap tomorrow? I talked to Daryl the other night, and he said that he was, to make sure and let him know if I wasn't, and I am. I did reach out to Pleco Paradise and talked to George the other night on the phone, and they're not coming this weekend, he said. But I am still going. Me and my 13-year-old son is going to go tomorrow. We're going to probably come home with some fish if we can find some. David Gilkison's in the house. He said, how you doing, Jeffro? I'm doing good. Nice to see you, David. See if I missed anybody else coming in here. Tampa Tom says, anything to vote on this week? I do need help. This is kind of tricky, though, but I can go ahead and talk about it. So I put a post up. I just pulled out a gray hair out of my beard. I put a post up on my community tab this week asking for ideas for Pleco versus food. And I just got done shooting one a couple weeks ago, and it's going to be up this Thursday, and it's Pleco versus mushroom. So that one will be this week. If this Thursday, is this Thursday? Wait a second. Is this Thursday the 18th? I think it is this weekend, this Thursday. I might be wrong, though. But anyhow, I've already shot a Pleco versus food for this month. And what I'm doing is I'm way ahead. I've already got videos uploaded all the way through May 11th. So every Monday and Thursday, I have videos scheduled all the way through May 11th. So I need to, next weekend, I was going to try to do it this weekend, but probably not. I'll probably do a summer tub video where I've got a bunch of leaf litter from last fall down in my summer tubs, get all that vacuumed out. And there's a bunch of dead snails in the bottom of it because those summer tubs froze completely solid this winter. So nothing lived. There's a bunch of ram's horn snails down in the bottom. Get all those cleaned out. Do some maintenance on that that little shower filter stand, filter above tank sump, whatever you want to call it. Put some new filter media in it. Put some new foam layers in it. Put some new lava rock in it. and then put some new like pillow batten or whatever I want to use in the top, and get that thing really going, because I'm sure with freezing solid this winter, all of that media probably lost its cycle, I would say. I don't know. I've never frozen beneficial bacteria before, but I'm assuming that it's all died. It's probably got it back by now, but yeah. So next weekend, I'm going to shoot a Pleco versus food, and I need some ideas for foods to feed to my Plecos. Mr. Science Geek says most live streams usually end up talking about food. Yeah, I know. Yesterday was 8 weeks of me eating healthy, and this week, one night, last month I cheated like on my eating healthy whenever I went out to Colorado to see Mile High Plecos, and the other night we were looking for things to eat, and our barbecue place here in town, they went to Florida for the winter, so they were closed all winter. So I had a brisket sandwich. I don't ever eat bread on my healthy eating, so I ate bread. And then I don't eat beef, so I ate beef. And that's the only thing I had while I was there. And I did smother it with sugary barbecue sauce. And that's all I had for supper that night. So it's not really all that bad on calories, but it still was cheating. But I'm doing really good with it. I love brisket a lot. It was so good. Let's see here. Ginger Graves is in the house. Happy Saturday, everyone. What is up, Ginger? John Bedker says, I've got to get up at 5 to start bagging, selling lots of my large African cichlids, plus jewels, geophagus, and a group of Mesonata festivums. Cool. I got my shell dwellers in this week, and they're amazing. I did do a video on those, but that video doesn't come out till like May. And I can't really jump it in front of videos because I've got a lot of videos that really need to come out. We got Ron from Friday Fish Facts. What is up, Ron? Corey Boy Aquatic says Pleco versus watermelon. I thought of that. I have already done that video, but I thought of that. I did get a new camera the other day, and I'm going to start working on, now that I've got, gosh, how many cameras do I got? I got like 5 cameras, count my cell phone, that are good enough for shooting video, So I'm thinking about start enhancing my Pleco versus food, start working on it. My son has a couple of friends that are really good in photography, and I'm thinking about getting them to teach me some stuff, you know what I mean, to really start enhancing some of those specialty videos like that. But I've already done the Pleco versus watermelon, so unless I start being able to do things a little bit different. Now, I have gotten better. I always have been improving. I mean, you go back, if you watch one of my latest videos, and then you go back and watch a video from a year ago or a year and a half ago. I mean, I've been making videos now for over 2 years. So you go back and watch one of those and watch the quality of those, and then you watch the quality of a video now. A lot has changed. I used to, at the very beginning, I used only GoPros. So my sound was off. My videos were all spread out and not zoomed in, yada, yada, yada. And also the way that I do my videos, the way that I structure them is getting better, compared to way back then. So unless I come up with a way to do it better, Pleco versus watermelon was my very first Pleco versus food. So I need to come up with something different than that. Pete Berlansky says, Corvus just posted a something video. Let's see if I got a notification to see what it is. Joel. Okay, I haven't got a notification for it. So, I don't know that emoji though. Seedling video. Corvus just posted a seedling video. When I hover over it, it says seedling. Amber Fowler is in the house to quarantine them and do a tank or let Mother Nature take its course. Yeah. This Pleco that I'm quarantining now, if that's what you're talking about, it's a wild caught Pleco. So I need to make for sure and keep him at least by himself. I've got him in just a bare bottom with a sponge filter and a heater. He requires like 75 or warmer, 75 to 82. And then I'm going to keep him in there. And, you know, I don't have any kind of hides or anything like that to where I can keep an eye on him. Mrs. B is in the house. What is up, Angie? Brandon is in the house. What's up, Mr. B? Pleco versus broccoli. I already did that one, David. Yep, I did Pleco versus broccoli. That was a good one. I think that was my one where I was in my Santa Claus suit at the beginning, if I remember right. If I remember right, my Pleco versus broccoli was released on Christmas, and I was in my Santa Claus suit, I think. So I already did broccoli. Justin Thibodeau says, Jeffro, my neighbor Jesselyn is here watching with me and Emma. Can you give her a shout out? What is up, Jesselyn? I hope that I'm pronouncing your name right. Welcome to the live stream. Let's see here. We were there, bro. Ahead. Okay, that's somebody else. Friday Fishback says, don't forget to hit the like button, please. Thanks a lot. We got 44 people here, only 14 likes. Let's anybody here watching the stream, don't forget to hit the like. VB23 says, just watch Jeffroz skip over what I said due to embarrassment. Anyone watching the UFC tonight? I'm not going to order anything. I'm probably going to watch the NBA playoffs. John Bedker says, have you tried going live on your phone? I have went live on my phone a lot here at the house. I haven't tried it outside of the house. It works perfect here at the house. So if they've got good enough internet and you're set up tomorrow, I thought about that. We could go live from my cell phone tomorrow. I do have a new point and shoot camera that is not as intrusive. Actually, I got it right here. It's a little bitty, small Canon Power Shot. Gosh, what is it? 740 SX or something like that. I can't remember. But it's got a big time zoom on it. It also shoots in 4K. It takes really crisp video, and the audio sounds pretty good on it too. I'm not going to probably use that as my main camera. At the beginning, what is that noise? At the beginning, when I first ordered that camera, I thought that I was going to turn that into my main camera. But it's just not as good as what my other camera is. So I'm going to use this one for whenever I'm going out and about, like I'm doing tomorrow, going to a swap, bring it with me. Like tonight, I brought it to the school for promenade, and I'm not having to bring a great big giant apparatus like this with me and look like a YouTuber when I'm going to take pictures of my son at the school, you know? So, yeah. So you can just put it in your pocket and go. So I'll probably bring that with me, and I can go live from my phone if we can do it, like if it's good enough to work. So BB23, I am not going to probably watch UFC tonight. I hardly ever order it. The only time I order it is whenever my son can get like 7 or 8 of his buddies over and charge him like $5 a piece or something like that, and we all put in together, because it's kind of expensive for me. Because the prelims, sometimes they're good. You know, they're doing a really good job nowadays of having some really good prelims, but it's usually wait until the 12 or 1 o'clock fight, whatever time it gets to it. And, yeah, kind of expensive to pay for just one fight. But I am a UFC fan. And I think I called it right on that last one. What's his name? Did knock that guy out in the second round. Boom. David Gilkison said Pleco versus hot dog. The Plecos that I use in my Pleco versus food, the hot dogs probably wouldn't be very good for them. And the hot dogs are real salty, and just about every Pleco out there really can't hack salt. So I probably won't do hot dogs. The Fish Barn says Pleco versus okra. Okra would be a good one, and I bet you they would love that one. They did love the mushroom, by the way. Pete Berlinski has been after me to do that one for a long time. We got a $9.99 super chat from Chad Krotz. Chad Crott says, super chat, Pleco versus squash. If you did that already, I missed it. I have not done squash. I've done zucchini, but squash would be a good one. So squash, okra, those are both good ideas. See, I've kind of hit a block. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to do the mushroom forever. I've wanted to do like boiled eggs too. You know, I'm getting ready to take that tank down. If it did make a real big mess, I could just take that tank down, you know. Lumpy Dog is in the house. And what did he say? Kiwi. Kiwi is really acidic, Pam. So I probably can't do kiwi. What did Lumpy Dog say? Pleco versus pork rinds? I might eat the whole bag if I get a set of pork rinds up in here. I saw pork rinds made not too long ago on diners, drive-ins, and dives. And I was really surprised. It's like pork belly that has been, what do you call it? It's been put in a brine for a long time, and then they dehydrate it and all kinds of different stuff. And then after they dehydrate it, they just pop it right in the fryer, and then it just puffs up, you know. Let's see here. Hopefully I didn't miss anything too. If I said anything or if I missed anything, because I've scrolled way down here in the chat. If I missed anything, just say it again. 186 Element, Pleco versus cheese. They would probably love cheese. I've not heard that one before. David Gilkison says Pleco versus French fries. That wouldn't be very healthy for them. Pleco versus Veggie Burger, that might be cool. Yeah, Veggie Burger would be cool. I'd like to even try Veggie Burgers. I eat a lot of ground turkey, so I'll do like I took some ground turkey the other day and made a sausage out of it, and it was really, really good. And then like I'll make my tacos with ground turkey and spaghetti with ground turkey, all that kind of stuff. Just put ground turkey in it. But a veggie burger, I've never had a veggie burger, and they say that there's some places that you can go where they make a veggie burger and it tastes exactly like beef. You can't tell. So I don't know. That'd be cool. Meanfish9 is here. What's up, fishy folks? What is up, Meanfish9? John Bink says, I tried carrot and got no interest. Thought it may have improved the color of my super red bristlenose plecos. Unsure if it even would. I have got a can of chopped carrots in there in the cabinet, and I thought about Pleco versus carrot as well. Yeah, I've only had like 2 foods that these Plecos won't touch. One of them was what was sweet potato. They didn't like it very good, and banana, they didn't like it very good. Now sweet potato, I put the first one in a crock pot for a little bit, and it turned to mush. Like, I've put sweet potatoes overnight in crock pots before, but this time I think I wrapped it in aluminum foil, and that must have trapped the moisture in, and I mean, it just turned to mush. So in the spirit of things, I just put a hard sweet potato in there because Mikey from Mile High Plecos, he said that he always feeds his sweet potatoes hard. And I did, and they just didn't show very much interest. I did make a video out of it, and then the other one was bananas, and someone in the comments said that banana peels are bitter, and that's probably what was making them do it, because they would get on the banana just for a second, and then they would get off of it. All I did is take a real sharp blade and cut the front off of the banana. That way there was just a window of it to where it would hold together in the tank. You know, I did like 3 of them. And then I put a wire coat hanger through the bottom 3 pieces of banana peel. And then I like clamped a pair of vice grips on it to hold it down because they float, you know. That is usually the hardest part, is the floater food. And the mushrooms were really floatacious. Like, I had to pin 2 mixer beaters into the mushroom to keep it down at the bottom. Whenever I would put a fork in it, it would just stay floating at the top. Like, a fork isn't heavy enough to even hold it down. Kiwi Momo is in the house. What is up, Kiwi Momo? John Bedker says you should go live and or shoot some footage tomorrow. That is a plan of mine. I'm going to bring, I'll have my cell phone with me, of course, and then I'll have the little point and shoot with me as well. And yeah, we'll get her done. I'm hoping to find some really cool Plecos while I'm there tomorrow. All righty. David Gilkison said, fish question. I have 3 super red bristlenose. 1 is 2.5 inches long. 2 are 1.5 to 2. When can I expect the males to start growing whisker things? Man, it varies. Like my very first bristlenose super reds that I bought 6 of them. And I had 1 died within just a few months of having them. So that left me with 5. And then I had another one die a little bit after that, so that left me with 4. I had 2 males that were growing really quick, and they got their bristles, somewhere around that 3-inch mark, somewhere around in there, And then I had another one that I think was the runt that, it took well over a year before he got big enough to get bristles. And my female, even a year after, I got her, she hadn't ever spawned. I got a female from Mile High Plecos that was older. And when I got her, she was already full of eggs. And she spawned right away, right when I got her. So, yeah, it's really hard. I would say somewhere around 3 inches in that ballpark. But I've got 1 albino that I've been growing out, a bunch of baby albinos for a long time. And I got 1 the other day. I noticed he had bristles. And then like a couple days later, I noticed that he was fanning in a cave. And I pulled that cave up out of there. And sure enough, there was a clutch of eggs in there. And it's just a grow out tank. It's just growing out some babies. And now they've grown out enough to spawn. So I didn't go because oh my goodness. Every time I see a comment that I want to read, it goes bye-bye. What is up, Peter Thiel? Would carrot improve the color of red, super red Plecos? I don't really know that. I know that there is a certain, I don't want to call it chemical. There's a certain something that goes into some foods that helps with color, like your tetracolor tropical granules has color enhancing something another, and I don't know enough about it to even comment on it, but it's got something in it that helps enhance color. And that is the ingredient that a lot of different fish foods that have color enhancing stuff in it, that's what the product is. And we would have to know if that is what, if carrots have that in it, yes, they would. I've never heard anyone say that carrots would help with color. So I don't know, but I might be wrong. It might have that byproduct, whatever it is in it, the vitamin or whatever it is. I've heard about it before, but I can't remember what it is. I don't want to be eaten by the Plecos. Yeah, kiwi has way too much acid in it, I think. There's a list. You can go online and look for high acidic foods, and like I'm pretty certain number 1 on the list is pineapple. And I know they would love pineapple. NCFT, are pre-filters only good if you have fry in the tank? Do you think they put a strain on the hang on the back filter motor? I use pre-filters on every one of my hang on the backs. They are awesome. They're not only just good for fry, they help clean a lot of junk before it gets into the filters. It's like pre-filter says it all. Sure, it helps keep fry and shrimplets and baby plecos and all that kind of stuff from getting up into the intake of your filter, but it also keeps a lot of junk that gets sucked up in there, and it helps cut down on maintenance to the actual filters. It helps cut down on maintenance to your, your little propellers, all that kind of stuff. So I recommend them. You can get some of them that are real too closed of a foam and they clog up like every other day. The ones that I use are they're actually the foam filter that comes with your Aqua Clears, like your Aqua Clear 70, that large sponge. Works really good on larger intakes. You just take your knife down inside the sponge and just cut it all the way down to, like yay far before the bottom. And then it slides right over your intake tube. And sure, it's white at the beginning, but after so long, it turns to a darker brown and it kind of stains. And yeah, most of the time, it depends on how heavy of a tank, how heavily stocked a tank is and how heavy you feed it, on how much it gets, built up. But like some tanks, I have to do it like twice a week. Just take the sponge out and squeeze it. And then it cuts way down on the other maintenance that you have to do on all the other stuff in your filter. If you've got it turboed or whatever, Yeah, thanks, Pam. Let's see here. I'm going to scroll down a little bit because I'm way behind in the chat. Valley Fish is in the house. What is up, Jeff? Nice to see you. I've still got a bunch of those common bristlenose plecos. We're going to have to meet up one of these days. One of them, actually two of them are probably 2 inches long now. I saw the other day. I've got tons of them, so you can have your pick, and they're all from the same moms and dads, Okay, I'm at the bottom of the chat. NCFT says, thanks for the information. I appreciate it. No problem. I love intake sponges. I mean, they're the bomb. And like those one sponges that I was telling you about that come with the Aqua Clear, you can order a big bag of them, multiple ones in it, for really cheap on Amazon. I mean, that's what I do. And every time a sponge gets to where the gap is too big and it's sliding on too easily, I just throw that sponge out, get me a new one, and just stick my pocket knife down in there and make a little slit, and it fits tight again. And that's such a small sponge that whenever you get rid of that, you're not really getting rid of all of your beneficial bacteria. Or what you could do is you could squeeze it out when it got too big of a gap and too loose to fit on there. You could just put it down in your tank and leave it in your tank while you're cycling the new sponge too, if you wanted to. Joel G is in the house. Hello, Jeffro. What is up, Joel? If you're really at the bottom. Yep. Alice KH is in the house. What is up, Alice? Nice to see ya. Got Joseph from JH Aquatics. JH Aquatics. JH Aquatics. Aye. Cooking and eating, but listening. Good evening, everyone. Well, welcome to the live stream. Cichlid23 says Yankees. Yeah, this hat right here. I don't know why I started wearing it, but now that I wear it, I like the color. It kind of matches a lot of the clothing that I've got. So, yeah, I'm basically mostly a Cardinals fan and a Kansas City Royals fan. But in a lot of sports, I'm the same way. Like, I'm mostly a North Carolina Tar Heels fan, but this year I was like rooting against them during March Madness. It's kind of weird. It's hard to explain. I guess whenever I'm a fan of something, I'm not a real crazy fanatic where kill everybody else. Like, I don't hate the Cubs, but a lot of Cardinals fans hate Cubs, and a lot of Cubs fans hate the Cardinals. Pirates fans hate the Cardinals. Like, I'm pretty much, though, a Dallas Cowboys fan. Like, in football, I don't like to root for a lot of the other teams. Now, I like it whenever a team has tried for a long, long time to get somewhere and they make it. Like, I would love it if the Chiefs did win a Super Bowl, because my dad was a longtime Chiefs fan, and I would be really happy for all the Chiefs fans. And I was happy for the Cubs fans when they finally won the World Series, But mostly I'm a Cardinals fan and a Kansas City Royals fan. But I do love the Yankees, and I love Aaron Judge. He is a beast. That dude is a stud, and they've got a great team, and they're really starting. I think they'll make the playoffs this year. So I've always liked the Yankees. I like Derek Jeter, and any team that wins that many World Series. When you're a kid, you see them a lot, so you get to be a fan of them or whatever. But I'm not a diehard Yankees fan. John Bink says, is the Soylent Green Repashy best for the Bristlenose Plecos or a mixture of different Soylent Green, Morningwood, etc.? I've never mixed them all together. What I do is I buy one, and it lasts me a long time because I don't stay feeding on one food. Like, I've got tons of different Pleco foods, and I'm all the time mixing it up. And I never stay on one food. They never get the same food 2 days in a row. And another thing I do is I do a lot of skip feeding. Now, if I've got some Plecos that I'm really working on trying to get them to breed, I might try to take the female out of the system and really try to fatten her up, trying to kind of like you do with some like egg scattering fish or mouth brooding fish, how you'll try to prepare them for spawning, where you'll feed them some live worms and black worms and, feed them really, really good and get them really good and fat, and then that can spark them to spawn. That's kind of what I'll do sometimes. But for the most part, I skip feed. Like, sometimes it'll be 3 days before I feed my Plecos, and they're never picky on any food that I feed. They always eat anything that I feed. If I was to feed flakes today, I could just put a great big giant handful in there, and what the fish didn't eat, all the Plecos would in some tanks. Most of my Pleco tanks, I do have some type of fish in there, kind of like a dither type situation. But I have heard of people mixing. I've even heard, I think Dank mixes flakes in with his too, or like he'll mix some tetragranules in with it and different things like that. The only time I've ever done a mix with my Repashy, and I haven't fed Repashy in a while. I've got a bunch of it laying around. I just haven't done it in a while. But my Thanksgiving video last year, I did. I tried to make kind of like a green bean casserole. So I mixed some Soylent Green and some green beans together, and then I put fish flake food on the top of it, kind of as the onion rings, but I didn't factor in the moisture that was in the green beans, and it kind of made it a little mushy. But I still made the video, and it still turned out good. I mean, they ended up eating it all, but it did really make a mess in the tank. I had to do like a 50% water change on it because it just was real messy. But I always, when I do those Pleco versus food, I put a gigantic piece in it, but I don't think it would hurt. I know that Repashy is a superfood, so even if you only fed one of a single without it being mixed in, I think you're still going to be good either way. But I have heard of people mixing two together, and it's not going to hurt it. There's even a Repashy calcium, and you could even mix some of that in there too, especially like if you were feeding it with shrimp, Daryl Deemer says, don't forget to hit the like button. Thanks a lot, Daryl. Big D Smoke says, and those Dodgers fan beat to death the Giants fan in the parking lot after a game a couple years ago. I know. That's one of the scariest things in professional sports. I used to go to a lot of Royals games when I was a kid. My dad was a meat cutter. And some of these lunch meat salesmen would offer promotions. So if my dad sold enough, bologna of this one company, they would give him some baseball tickets. And we hardly ever got the Cardinals. Every once in a while we would get the Cardinals, but most of the time it was Royals. And I can remember getting beer dumped on me as a kid a lot, drunks, at the games and stuff. And it can get kind of scary. And, I almost don't think I would even take my kids to an NFL game. That's the way it they just get that bad blood, We got a $10 super chat from Daryl Deemer with nothing said, but I do get to meet Daryl tomorrow. So thanks a lot, Daryl. I've already met Daryl before, but I get to see Daryl tomorrow, I guess is what you would say. Lisa from KG Tropicals in the house. She says she's like number 30. Thanks a lot, Lisa. Bear Bottom Aquatics is here. What's up, Bear Bottom? Let's see who else. Jeff Chambers. First rule of being a Giants fan. The Giants, man, they went on a really good run. They won like 3 out of 5 years, a few years back, and they've got Bumgardner. He is a beast. That dude, I like the last World Series that they won. He played with like 1 day rest or something like that in that game 6 or 7 or whatever it was. And that right there just made me think, wow, he is a stud. And he can also jack home runs. Like, he is awesome. He really is. Mike says they used to brawl all the time at Lions games in the upper deck at the Silverdome all the time. Yeah. I just don't think that, that's kind of reason why I think, because back in the day, they used to allow alcohol at the college games, and now everybody tailgates outside and gets wasted and then comes in. But like, a lot of those people don't have no business even drinking when they get in there, and then they're still drinking and everything. And, I don't mind having a few beers or whatever, but whenever you hate the other side, ay. Lisa from KG Tropical says Nationals all the way. Yep. They lost Harper, though. Who do they have now? That was kind of interesting. He did the old bat flip his first time there. And like emphatically right when he jacked that one. Bear Bottom Aquarium says pitchers are babied nowadays. Well, quarterbacks are babied. Quarterbacks in the NFL, they baby them bad. Gosh. Jeff Chambers says he's a beast, but I think everyone is starting to figure out his pitching out finally. Oh, really? Ay. He was dominant, though. Maple Street Aquatics is in the house. What is up, Brandon? Nice to see you, buddy. Cichlid 23. Okay, I would say go Tigers, but it's no use for a few years. Yeah. I was happy for Justin Verlander, though, whenever he left. And then what was it? A couple years later, he won a World Series. So I was really happy for him because he really was a great pitcher as well and was a longtime Tiger. Sunshine Aquatics says Jeffroz plants that bristlenose can't completely destroy. I keep bristlenose in planted aquariums, and I really don't have no problems. I know that some bristlenose plecos will mow down plants really, really bad, but like I've got some dwarf sage growing in my 40-gallon breeder, and I've got bristlenose plecos in there. But if I put like a different type in there, they might just, plow them down or whatever. Lisa from KG Tropical says Harper was overrated in my opinion. I think so too. Like, he was overrated from the very beginning. He's a decent ball player, don't get me wrong. He can jack them really deep every once in a while. But I agree with you. Whenever he was in college, he hit that one really, really long ball, and ever since then, everybody's been in love with him. Kent's Fish, Corey Boy Aquatics with the $4.99 super chat. Pleco versus crab meat, beets or cantaloupe. I already did cantaloupe. Beets is a good idea. Crab meat, I don't think there would be anything harmful in crab meat. What I need to do with that, though, is I need to do some of my meat-eating plecos that I've got now. But those guys are all so nocturnal. It would be really hard to do a video on them, but I've got one right now that is a carnivore, and he eats in the daytime. He eats whenever he wants. He's pretty awesome. Thank you for the super chat, Corey Boy. I really appreciate it. Maple Street Aquatic says, just here hanging out on the couch with Nessa at MSA. That is awesome, man. Cool. It's nice to have someone that you're married to that is into the hobby like you are. That is really awesome, man. Sunshine Aquatic says my baby Plecos are wrecking havoc on my plants. LOL. Yeah, I know. Like, trying to think what would be a good. I know they tear up swords. I've never had a Pleco tear up a crypt, but there might be someone in here that has had them tear up a crypt. I know that they like to eat on those Val stems as well. Pam from 54 Punchy says green peppers. That was the one that was my Santa Claus suit. I did green peppers. Dank was the one that recommended that. And I did do green peppers, and that was the one I did on Christmas. I don't know why I was thinking it was broccoli, but I did do broccoli, and I've done green peppers. It was a good one, too. They loved the peppers. They ate to where you could see through the pepper skin. They really did love green peppers. And Dank, he had fed his Plecos green peppers, and he said, dude, you got to do a Pleco versus green pepper. They love it. And Plecos do really love the green peppers a lot. Bear Bottom Aquarium says, how about those Mariners? Talk about the long ball. Chicks dig the long ball. I was a Colorado Rockies fan for a little while whenever the Colorado Rockies first became a team. And I think it was because I love the colors and I love the, like it had some purple in it and different things like that. I was an A's fan back in the day when Mark McGwire and Jose Canseco, whenever they were all together. And then what was that? Walt Weiss, I think, was second base or first. No, Mark was first base. I think Walt Weiss was second base. But I seen him at some games against the Royals. They were in the same division. So Priscilla MK Art is in the house. Yo, hugs driving. Well, nice to see you, Priscilla. If you guys didn't see my video Thursday, I did a fish room tour on Priscilla's fish room while I was in Colorado last month. And it came out this last Thursday. And she sent me a text and said it turned out pretty good, better than what I thought. I thought it was going to be a real short one. Like, I left there thinking she doesn't have a whole lot of tanks. And I'm not saying that is a bad thing, but she doesn't have a great big giant fish room. So I thought, man, it's going to be a small video, but it really turned out better and longer than what I thought. So I agree with her. It did turn out pretty good. But if you guys haven't saw that, it came out Thursday, and it's pretty good. She's got some neat stuff. She's got a really big puffer, and then she's got some baby puffers. And it was really awesome getting to meet her, too. Big D Smoke must have watched it. He said it was a good video and cool fish room. Thanks, Big D. Sunshine Aquatic says small fish rooms need love too. Yeah, that's right. Like next month's going to be busy because I need to get a date exactly set. But next month I'm planning on going to Minnesota, and I'm going to do a whole lot of fish rooms while I'm up there. I'm going to go to Tom from TM Aquatics, and I'm going to try to go to King Lee, but it's a lot to get all of them to allow me. But I'm also next month going back to Carrie from Science Gal Aquatics, which she just showed up. She's on my way to go see my family down south, and my niece, as I said earlier in the live stream, she is graduating next month. So last time when I was at Science Gal Aquatics fish room, I didn't have my camera with me, and I left there. When I pulled out of the drive, I thought, you know what? I should have just used my cell phone, and I should have done a fish room tour. So I got with her later and asked her when I come up in May if I can do a fish room tour. So next month, I'm going to get with Carrie from Science Gal Aquatics, probably on my way home, because on my way down there, it's going to be at nighttime and probably pretty late when I'll be going through. But on that Sunday on my way back, we're going to get up a little early and start heading back early. And we'll stop and show you her fish room, because she's got a cute little fish room. Like Priscilla, she doesn't have a whole lot of tanks, but she's got neat stuff. She is an experienced aquariumist, you can tell she knows her stuff. And yeah, she's really a great person too. So she's been nice enough. She's going to let me come and film her fish room. So yeah, next month, and about a month from now, actually. Mean Fish 9 says, I don't have a fish room. They are all over my house. I am the same way. Everywhere. I've got tanks everywhere. My living room doesn't have a tank. My bathroom doesn't have a tank. My kitchen doesn't have a tank. And then my upstairs doesn't have a tank, but that's it. Do 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 do. Priscilla says something inaudible. I don't understand. At a fish store, LOL. Is nor that I work at a fish store. Yeah. Haley from Oddball Aquatics is in the house. What is up, Haley? Carbon Really is in the house. What's up, Carbon Really? The Fish Tank Barn says, are you going to Chicago anytime soon? I'm going sometime in June. Let me look. I've got it down. I think I want to say June 13th and 14th. Yeah, June 14th, 15th, and 16th, I'm going to the Chicago area, Mike. Vanessa says tanks in the living room, bedroom, hallway, and downstairs fish room. Yep, that's awesome. Okay, John Bedker says, I've got 4 super red, rare F1 C141 blackface Corys, about 3-inch. May sell to you if you're interested and willing to actually try breeding them. Just don't want to sell them to a rando at a swap. Sure. Definitely. I'll be a buyer, man. I really kicked myself in the butt for the last time we went to that auction that I didn't buy those killies off of you. Because, I mean, I've had so much troubles with mine that were just like it, and yours were already grown out. So I think that, you know, your water and my water being so close to being the same, they would have probably done really good. And I've kicked myself so many times because I had a male and a female that I got from Germany. The male is still alive, but the female died. Then I bought a male and a female from Aquabid. They both died just randomly. So I think it's got to do with every killifish that I've gotten from a different type of water source, you know, and they just can't really, I don't know. That's just one of my thoughts because there was nothing wrong with them. It was like today they're doing great, eating, healthy, perfect, nothing wrong with them. And then tomorrow, dead. But yeah, I will definitely be a buyer, dude. As long as they're not $1 million a piece. Live, not love. Good grief, autocorrect. Yeah, Haley. Uh-oh. Okay, we got Angelo's Fish Tanks in the house. What is up, Angelo's? Nice to see ya. Gonna try a Wallstad style gerarium in a big pickle jar. Anybody got any tips? Eventually throw some shrimp in there. That sounds awesome, man. I've often thought about doing one of those. I think it would be really cool, actually. John Bedker says Eric, the Pleco god. Sunshine Aquatics says, I want to go visit Jadron Aquatics and fill his fish room. He is really upped his fish room game. I mean, gosh, the last fish room tour he did, didn't he say he had over 60 aquariums now? Or maybe it's 100. But yeah, his would be a good one. That's a ways for me to go, though. Texas is quite a ways down there. Boom chicka bow wow. Lucas Live and X-rated. Oh my gosh. John Bink says, would you ever consider getting zebra plecos and try breeding them? I have thought about getting zebra plecos kind of at a discount by a big group of them and sell them off, grow them out and sell them off. And then, you know, maybe try to breed them as I go. But this is what my opinion are about zebra plecos and kind of leopard frog plecos as it is too. And just pleco breeding in general. I think if I was going to sell plecos, I would probably buy them wholesale and do the work of growing them out. So buy them when they're little, have them shipped to me when they're little. You're going to lose some, especially if they're wild caught and the place that you get them from don't quarantine them for like 30 days or 60 days or whatever. But I think that's where the money would be, because those zebra plecos, seems like the last I heard they sell for $100 an inch. Well, if you buy them at an inch long and maybe get them for like $80 and then grow them out a little bit and then start selling them for a couple $100 a piece, you know, that's where you can make your money. I think it would be a big investment to buy 6 to 10 zebra plecos, you know, have a couple $1,000s wrapped into them just for a little hobby to try to get them to breed. I've heard of so many people having troubles getting them to breed too. I don't know. I don't like them enough to really make that investment. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel right now. And, you know, the leopard frog plecos are kind of the same way. Like, I've got one buddy that is, for the last few months, has had his leopard frog plecos have been really prolific. He's got it down pat, and I can probably buy some from him because he's got some going, and I'm going to go see him here in a few weeks. And then I got another buddy that's had some wild caught ones for 2 years. And he's had 12 of them, and he can't get them to breed. So I don't know. That's a big investment to possibly down the road another year or two and still not get them to breed. You know what I mean? It's just a lot of money to throw out there. If I was to do it this other way, where you do a big investment and you feed them and you really, really, really keep up on your water changes, and you really just know there's a lot of money in that tank, and I'm going to try to keep all of them as live as much as possible. And we should be doing that on all of our stuff. But, you know, I've got some mutt guppy tanks in there that I don't care as much for. You know what I mean? Like, I do, but I don't. I'm not trying to sound like I've just got a tank in there that I never do anything to. I do the water changes. I feed them, and I clean their filtration, but I don't really zone in on those mutt guppies and make sure that, oh my gosh, what is that on them all the time, like I would if I had a couple of $1,000s worth of fish in a tank. That's what I'm trying to say. We are almost to the hour here. We'll look and see if I can find one more question here. Frank White says, my plecos breed easily. Some berry white music, wine in the tank, and candlelight algae dinner with a little oyster juice. They just go wild. That is funny. I've had so many people bring up that when I'm talking about having troubles getting something to breed, play some Barry White in the background. I will leave you guys with this because we're at the hour here. One little small update. I've had my L393 Cheese Creek Plecos now for, gosh, I'd have to look back to make for sure, but somewhere around 6 months. They were wild caught. They had already been here and quarantined for 60-some days in the U.S. before I got them. So they've been here for about 8 months, and they're adults. They're full grown. The female is full of eggs. Tried just about everything to get them to go. And I did do musical tanks once, but I don't think I waited long enough. So what I've done is I'm trying musical tanks. I moved my female the other day, and it's a big risk to do this too, because you put them in another system and then you take a chance of something happening to them. I don't have any money tied up in these Cheese Creeks, but they're expensive. And if they ever did get, if I ever do get a big clutch out of them, there's a lot of money there. Well, anyhow, I moved this female into a well-established planted aquarium that has tons of algae on the glass. And just, this tank is well-seasoned. It's my 40-gallon planted aquarium. I moved her in there a couple of days ago. And the day that I moved her in, she got up on the glass, and her stomach is full of eggs. So what I'm trying there, I guess, to update you guys is here in a couple or 3 weeks, I'll move the male in there, try to do some spot feeding with her, and really try to not necessarily power feed her, but really get in the move here, because we got thunderstorm season coming up, and that tank has spawned a lot of plecos. There's not another pleco in there right now. I've had plecos pulled out of that tank for, gosh, probably a couple months now. And that's why the algae is built up so bad on the tank. That's what I'm hoping for there. Other than that, SC Fishkeeping's in the house. What is up, man? And KD Cichlids. Tempa Tom says try putting a few baby bushy nose in their tank so they see babies and start making some that take the baby bushies out. Maybe. I've thought of that before too. Yeah, I've thought of that before too. Maybe even switch caves with, like, take a male. Like, I've got a male that's sitting on some eggs right now. Take that cave out and put it in with this male in here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think that would get him to thinking about things, but that is it for this week's episode, though. We're at the hour. Thanks for everyone that came out tonight. We got 52 watching. Everybody hit the like button on the way out. Don't forget to check out my videos this Monday and Thursday. And other than that, we will see you guys next Saturday night at 7 p.m. Have a great rest of the weekend, and peace out, y'all. Peace.